In terms of the plot, the exposition includes the king's plans to travel to Jerusalem being put on hold due to England being attacked by Welsh and Scottish forces which neighbor England. Additionally, the king receives news that Hotspur has captured the Scottish Lord Douglas and other prisoners and can't help but compare his son with Harry Percy. This leads to the introduction of society's perception of Prince Harry. Psychologically speaking, this comparison can be detrimental to Prince Harry because nobody likes being compared to other people if it is apparent that they are not good enough. This can cause damage to Hal's self-esteem and perhaps reduce his desire to please his father as a result. This is a common phenomenon amongst teenagers and perhaps young adults, wherein the persistent nagging of parents leads to reverse psychology being applied and the child does the opposite of what the parents ask out of spite. A major facet of Prince Harry's personality is that he is depicted as a rebellious son of the king, neglecting his royal duties by choosing to spend time with those of lower and less refined status in taverns as well as other undesirable locations. This is in comparison to Hotspur's military glory and success on the battlefield, as shown through his capturing of prisoners. Despite the face that Harry projects to society, the prince is actually quite intelligent and clever. He tells Falstaff that since the public views him as unfit for the throne, he uses this current appearance as a guise so that the public can be even more impressed with him when he reveals his true nature later on. Politically, the fact that Hotspur has captured prisoners but refuses to send all but one, Mordred of Fife, to the king, shows that there is some underlying tension between the two families and is a seed from which the rebellion grows. In Act 2, Hotspur receives a letter from a nobleman refusing Percy's request for them to join the rebellion as he feels it's too dangerous with too many potential uncertain variables, and the nobleman doubts their ability to defeat the king. Therefore, Hotspur is afraid that this nobleman will tell King Henry about the planned rebellion out of fear, and therefore, he decides to start the rebellion that very night. This shows the reader further insight into Hotspur's nickname and his tendency to be hot-headed and rash in decision-making. When he reads a letter from the nobleman, it seems as if he is frantic and nervous and disguising these emotions through anger and frustration. His interactions with his wife provide further insight into his state of mind and how he slowly lost sanity and peace the last few weeks. It seems as if he's rushing into the rebellion and going into it head first without the best of preparations. Starting the rebellion while his armies and allies are unprepared to take on the royals is a decision that's likely not to end well. A more subtle conflict is observed in the division between husband and wife, and as such man and woman, as he dismisses his wife and does not answer any of her questions. Prince Harry receives a letter from his father, or the king, asking for him to return home to prepare for the attack and defense against Scottish and Welsh forces, aka the rebellion. The king needs the prince to take responsibility for Prince Harry to become the respectable son the king needs in the time of war, and it contrasts with the image he currently projects to society. The division between Glendower and Hotspur creates a barrier between the Percy family and their very important Welsh allies. This is first initiated when leaders of the rebel armies meet to discuss the rebellion, and Hotspur is not impressed with Glendower's reputation with magic and such, and Glendower is becoming annoyed with Hotspur's hot-headedness as well as his disrespect towards him. Hotspur agrees when Mortimer prompts him to show respect, but this seems insincere. Politically, making your ally turn against you or causing tension between allies at any level is a bad decision, as you may need their support later on. A major facet of Hotspur's character is that he's not as manipulative or as good with people as Prince Harry is, and this exchange demonstrates that. Another point of complication in the king's desire for his son to act in a way that is appropriate for royalty is that Prince Hal and Falstaff plan to execute a highway robbery, even though Hal promises to become a respectable royal son in response to the growing tension in the country. In Act 4, it is seen that Hotspur's plans have all fallen through. The troops that Hotspur had planned to utilize together have various reasons to be unready for battle when Hotspur needs them. Northumberland, Hotspur's father, is sick, and Glendower is unable to collect his army quick enough. This, however, could be intentional on Glendower's part, attributed to his current dislike of Hotspur following their argument. With two of his major forces being unable to perform, Hotspur is doubting the rebels' ability to defeat King Henry. On the royal side, Prince Harry has put Falstaff in charge of putting together and collecting their army. However, Falstaff has recruited those not of soldier material. those without experience on the battlefield, crooks, those who are dishonest and cowardly, and in general, their army is a sad, sorry sight. The Archbishop of York, on the side of the rebellion, admits that the rebels' army is too weak, as their most important allies, Northumberland, who has the largest army, and Glendower, will be absent. In Act 5, the big Battle of Shrewsbury occurs. In this battle, King Henry and his forces defeat the rebellion and their chance of killing him and obtaining the throne. At the end of Part 1, the king has divided his armies into two, sending one to York to confront the Archbishop and bringing himself and his son to Wales to confront Glendower and Mortimer. This sets a general unsettling tone. Firstly, a house united, or here an army, stands much stronger than one divided. It appears now that the royals have won this battle, but as they seek further confrontations with the Archbishop and the Welsh, they may not win this war.